Hello everybody, here comes your next reading lesson. Today we're going to be reading Ocean Habitats by Marilla S. Miller. So another author that we have seen before. But this book we're going to be exploring the ocean, including what the deep ocean waters look like, special plants and animals, and current threats to the world's oceans. So if that kind of blurb sounds familiar to you, it's part of the same book series, so they really all do follow the same structure, which is kind of nice when you do read, a lot of times you read fiction book series. There are great nonfiction book series too, and that can be really helpful to a reader because once you kind of get in that pattern of how a book is kind of moving along, then sometimes it makes it a little bit easier to get into a nonfiction book and understand and retain and remember all that information because it follows that similar pattern. When it's always changing up, sometimes it can be hard to try to follow along. But yeah, I think I enjoy it, and that's one of the reasons why I chose this book series or these books, because it's all part of the same series, follows that same structure, and you kind of get used to it. But yeah, so some great chapters in this. One is just Welcome to the Ocean, another great example of an introduction. So if any of you are feeling like, oh, I want to write my own research book about something that I know a lot about, look at that introduction. It's a great way to really structure one. But then there's Where Are the World's Oceans? Kind of like with the other habitats, just showing you where they are. What do oceans look like? Ocean weather, the plants of the ocean, deep ocean animals, ocean mammals. Again, they always highlight one animal, the amazing octopus. And then threats to the ocean, usually that persuasive piece at the end. And here's a little spoiler. That's the chapter we're going to be doing today, because we've been doing just informational reading for purpose, but now we're going to be doing persuade, to learn, what's happening to our oceans, and what are the problems that are, the problems that are happening, and if we know what the problems are, we can hopefully stop those problems to save our oceans. While we are reading this book today, we are going to be focusing on our main idea summary. So let's read this goal at I can determine. Ready? I can determine, and I'm going to pause there. I would love it to know that if anybody is reading these goals with me like we do in class, please tell me. I really want to know. But read it with me, because right now I'm pretending I'm listening to all of you, and that makes this whole thing feel normal. So read it with me at I can determine. Ready? I can determine the main idea of my text and use key details for support. So remember, determine means to figure out. Trying to figure out what that main idea is, that big sentence. What is that whole chapter, or if it's two chapters, in one sentence, what's it about? I can use a main idea sentence to do that. I don't need to tell the entire chapter. I can tell in just one sentence what I just read. But the important part is using those key details. Those are the most important facts. So those are the most important parts to then explain why that's your main idea. As we are doing this summarizing, we're going to be using our graphic organizer again. Summary of main idea and key details. We have the first column. These are the summary parts. And this is where we record all of our details and ideas. Name of the article or type of text. We're going to be writing here. I'm going to pause real quick there, just so I don't lose the book. Got it still. So I have ocean. Spell ocean right. Ocean habitats. Got that. This is Marilla. Marilla S. Miller. And I already gave the spoiler away. We are going to be doing persuaded, so I can do that right there too. But you don't know what the main idea is. I mean, you can get a pretty good guess by just looking at the chapter title, Threats to the Ocean. But really, I don't want you can, like I did here, I filled out some of this information. You can do that too at the beginning if you want to. Choosing your action word. Is it inform, teaching you something? Is it making a claim about trying to teach you a new idea? Is it explained, like teaching you like how to build or make something? Or is it persuaded? You should wait to do that too until you're done reading. But don't fill out this sheet until you are done reading your book. And then after you've chosen your chapter, or maybe those two chapters that you want to do this for, wait to do that, because the main idea might change until you are all the way done. And then especially, don't start doing your key details until you've done the whole chapter, to let it really sink in. And you probably are going to want to read that same chapter a couple times, because like I keep on saying, you are not copying facts and sentences from your book. You're taking what you learn and you're rewriting them. In the past few lessons, you've noticed me, I'm not going back into the book. I have reread it a few times, so I know what the book taught me. I don't need to go back and look at it again. In my own words, I can just rewrite it right there. But yeah, so those are the things I want you to think about as you are listening to me read. I will read the introduction again just to get us into the book. Remember, this is not a chapter to summarize. This is already a summary about the whole book. So you don't want to summarize a summary. But the introduction lets you get into this world, so this ocean habitat world. So read the introduction still just to enjoy it and learn, but wait to do anything, but wait to pick a different chapter or 2 chapters to summarize. Welcome to the ocean. Oceans make up most of the Earth's surface. They are big bodies of salt water. An ocean circles each continent. Oceans are full of life. Many plants grow on the ocean floor. There are also special animals that call the ocean home. Plants and animals work together to live. Animals use plants as food and as homes. Smaller animals use plants to hide from larger animals. Predators eat other animals. The world's oceans are in danger. Changes in the weather are making oceans warmer. It is also causing the water to rise. Human activities also affect oceans. People throw trash and other waste in the water. These activities put plants and animals in danger. So, just a really good introduction to what the book's going to be about. Predators, animals that eat other animals. Great image here. The ocean is beautiful. In my opinion, gorgeous. There's so many different colors down there from plant to animal life. Again, remember, all these books are an epic. Come back and reread this book yourself, because I'm only going to be reading a few parts of it. Caption down below: the ocean is filled with plant and animal life. Now, where are the world's oceans? This is a good chapter. When we did our Me and the Map project for geography, we got to label where the different oceans are. The only one that you're going to notice that's a little bit different, they have a southern ocean. Some geographers put southern oceans on maps. Some don't. So when you see that, don't think, what? Why is there a southern ocean? It's just some maps have them, some don't. Some basically just think that that's just farther down there that's just the Atlantic. Some people even call it the South Atlantic, and some people can even call that like the Southern Indian Ocean too. But so don't be surprised if you do back to come read this book. So I'm gonna practice summarizing though using this chapter. What do oceans look like? The ocean floor has different kinds of terrain. It can be rocky or sandy. It can also rise into a volcano and turn to a deep, dark trench. The Arctic Ocean and the Southern Ocean both have ice too. Sunlight cannot reach the deepest parts of the ocean floor. The water looks black at this level. Animals that live here are used to no sunlight. No plants live here. The middle area of the ocean receives very little sunlight. The water here looks dark blue or black. Plants do not grow here either. Animals such as crabs and eels live in this area of the ocean. The top level of the ocean receives most of the sunlight. The water can be clear or cloudy. This area of the ocean is full of plant and animal life. Seaweed and kelp are 2 plants that grow here. Mammals, fish, and sea turtles are seen swimming on the top level. Caption: the Arctic Ocean is covered in ice. It's up in the Arctic. Antarctic is the same way too. But I'm going to pause there. So just to think about what the main idea is. You can always pause the video so you can reread it if you need to. But what's my main idea of this chapter, and then key details. And go into the next video.